Everyone, and welcome to today's webinar. My name is Rachel Lacey and I am the Principal Lead for External Quality Assurance at NCFE. This webinar will provide you with an overview of our quality assurance policy for awarding for 2020 and 2021. The plan for today's webinar is to provide detail on the quality assurance process for qualifications which cannot be awarded through a tag, looking at what we need from you and what you can expect from us. We will also look at the detail on the quality assurance process for qualifications that can be awarded through a tag, focusing on centre tag strategies, EQA reviews and IQA. We will give an update on results release information and on the retaining of learner evidence, and we'll finish by providing information on the key dates and timelines for QA activity this year. So first of all, looking at qualifications which cannot be awarded through a teacher assessed grade this year. Qualifications in Ofqual category A will predominantly be assessing occupational skills, and therefore the following applies. External assessment should continue, including those with adaptation where applicable. Internal assessment can continue and be adapted if needed, or assessment may need to be delayed. So what we need from you: for qualifications in category A, the EQA process will remain unchanged. You should start to prepare for your EQA review as soon as possible, and if you have not already done so, please make contact with your allocated EQA to arrange a date for your review to take place. When communicating with your EQA, you should ensure that they are aware of which learners have used adaptations to complete. This will ensure that they can be incorporated within the learner sample. This should be done by sharing your assessment trackers with clear indication of which learners have used adaptations. Direct claim status will remain unchanged in terms of the number of reviews required this session to maintain or to achieve DCS if not already held. For any new centres, your EQA will be allocated to you as soon as you make learner registrations on our portal. What you can expect from NCFE. We are continuing to complete all EQA reviews remotely wherever possible. However, we will update you as soon as we have an update on when face-to-face reviews can return. If qualifications have been adapted, EQAs will review learner evidence in line with published adaptation guidance and ensure that a sample of these learners are incorporated within the EQA review. If your centre are delivering a mixture of Category A and Category B qualifications, your EQA will use the information provided to ensure that both groups of qualifications are sampled within the same review. This leads us on nicely to the next section of the webinar, in which we will look at qualifications which can be awarded through a teacher assessed grade. We are aware by now that you are likely to have developed an approach to teacher assessed grades for qualifications that you deliver, whether that be by updating your existing policies and procedures, or for those centres who also deliver general qualifications, you'll be in the process of writing a bespoke policy for teacher assessed grades. For us to understand your approach and gain confidence in the way in which you will prepare, collate evidence and submit teacher assessed grades to us, we would like you to complete a short online form that will confirm the approach you are taking. This form needs to be completed at a centre level and not by individual sectors or departments. If your centre deliver across multiple sites, again, we only need one form unless each site has its own centre number. In this case, we would need one form completing per centre number. We have set a deadline for forms to be completed and returned to us by the 7th of May. The form also includes the head of centre declaration, which must be agreed, signed and dated prior to any teacher assessed grades being submitted. The link to this form can be found within the QA policy on pages 6 and 8, and also on our website within the quality assurance section of the COVID area. It can also be located on Qual Hub within the policies and documents folder. All centres will receive confirmation that their form has been received and feedback on when this has been approved. If we do require further information from you will be contacted directly by one of our lead EQAs. Internal quality assurance practice is vitally important this session, just as it is within any other year. As a reminder, the purpose of internal quality assurance is to ensure that assessment decisions are being made fairly and consistently across a qualification. During this process, you will also provide assessors with the confidence in the grades they have awarded through teacher assessed grading, ensuring that both fairness and objectivity in their decisions is maintained. Centres should continue to follow their own IQA and assessment policy and ensure that for qualifications completed in the usual way, IQA practice remains the same. Centres must also ensure that their IQA processes are extended across qualifications that have either been adapted or awarded through teacher assessed grades. This must include any component or qualification that is usually assessed and moderated externally. Centres should also use previous data of past performance from within your centre on particular qualifications to support the IQA decisions being made. So the next section that we're going to look at are EQA reviews and support reviews. So EQA reviews will be conducted as close to the usual format as possible this year. For centres that have existing DCS and who are due an EQA review to maintain DCS this year, the submission and review of your tag strategy will be completed as a desktop review firstly, and then will be incorporated within your EQA review as a set of questions. Your EQA will also request a sample of teacher assessed graded learner evidence, which will be included in the sample plan that you receive. Where a centre does not have DCS, we will carry out an EQA review and apply a risk-based sampling strategy. Again, the submission and review of the tag strategy will be completed as a desktop review firstly, and then a series of questions incorporated into the EQA review to ensure it is being followed. Your EQA will also request a sample of any teacher assessed graded evidence, and this will be included within the sample plan you receive. Sampling plans will, as always, incorporate a range of learners, and this year that will also be extended to include learners that have completed as usual, learners that have been completed via a teacher assessed grade, and those learners who have used an adaptation. EQAs must ensure that where qualifications have been assessed through adaptation or teacher assessed grades, that they are included within the sample provided for EQA review. We are therefore asking you as centres to support us with this during the preparation for your review, and ask that you share your trackers with the EQA, clearly identifying how grades have been awarded this year. Your EQA will then be able to create a sample plan based on this information, incorporating a range of tag, adapted and business as usual samples. In terms of EQA reports, the report completed during the EQA review will be the same as in previous reviews. EQAs will, however, include evidence and detail of discussions that have been held around teacher assessed grades and adaptations. This information will be included and recorded in sections 3 through to 6 of the report. Further details of this can be located within our QA policy on pages 10 to 12. If it is found that a centre's teacher assessed grading strategy has not been followed, is insufficient, or that the underlying evidence for the sample of teacher assessed grades submitted was insufficient, then the EQA may request to see additional evidence. The EQA may widen the sample to include other learners beyond the initial sample requested. In this situation, submitted grades may not be approved until suitable evidence has been provided by the centre. The EQA will communicate with the centre and either complete the additional sampling during the review, if time allows, or arrange a convenient time to look at the additional evidence. To help support centres this year, if a centre feels that they would benefit from an additional review to support how you are going to approach your tag grading this year, this can be booked through our website or directly by contacting allocated EQA. The booking of EQA reviews remains vitally important this year, and it is extremely important that you try and arrange this EQA review as soon as possible and get it into the calendar. This is most important for those centres who are offering B1 qualifications, whereby an EQA review must be completed by the end of July, and this will ensure that your results will be released on results day. In terms of results release information, in order to make sure that we can quality assure teacher assessed grades that are issued this year, we have changed the way we process results, including for those centres that hold DCS. This will allow your EQA to confirm your centre's tag strategy has been approved and that your EQA review has taken place. Once both of these checks have taken place, your results will either be held for results release day, and this applies for B1 qualifications, or they will be released on a rolling basis for B2 qualifications. If you submit results in the usual way, therefore without a teacher assessed grade, and have direct claim status, your EQA will approve these claims daily, and therefore there should be no delay in receiving your certificates. Retaining learner evidence. Centres in line with current guidance should ensure learner records and details of achievements will be accurate, kept up to date and securely stored for a minimum of 3 years, and will also be made available for external quality assurance reviews. Any learners that are certified via DCS following your last EQA review should have evidence retained for sampling at the next EQA review. Where a centre has determined a teacher assessed grade for a learner on a qualification with DCS, the same guidance stands and evidence needs to be retained. If you have learners that are not certifying this year, where a teacher assessed grade has been awarded for a full unit or a part of a qualification, this evidence should be retained to support during EQA activity in the 2021 and 2022 session. For learners who are deferring due to not being able to complete part of their qualification, learner evidence will need to be retained for any teacher assessed grade submitted in this session, as again it will support the final EQA review of this assessment. Centre risk rating. At the end of the academic year, each centre's risk profile will be updated following the outcome of the alternative awarding arrangements and reviewed to help identify those centres which may require additional scrutiny and support. The risk profile is based on several factors, including historic direct claim status, assessment and internal quality assurance performance scores from past EQA reviews, and also any recorded instance of malpractice or maladministration. The risk rating will not dictate changes to grades, nor will NCFE amend any submitted teacher assessed grades. The final section of this webinar is going to look through timescales that are relevant to the QA process this year. So the first timescale that needs to be considered is the submission of teacher assessed grading strategies. Again, this needs to be submitted at a centre level and not a department level, and should be submitted prior to any tags being uploaded onto the tag portal. The form is now open and has been open since the 1st of April and will remain open for submissions until the 7th of May. The link can be found in the QA policy, on the NCFE website and also on QualHub. Next week commencing the 19th of April, our tag portal will open for the submission of grades for both B1 and B2 qualifications. Again, it's important to remember that until the teacher assessed grading strategy has been approved, you should not be uploading any tag grades onto the portal. On the 18th of June, our tag portal will close, and you must therefore ensure that all teacher assessed grades are submitted by this date. On the 10th of August, we will be issuing B1 Level 3 results to learners, and on the 12th of August, we will be issuing B1 Level 2 results to learners. As already mentioned, B2 qualifications will be released on a rolling basis, aligned to tag strategies being approved and within EQA reviews where required. Throughout August and September, our appeals process will both be opened and be completed, and exact dates for this will be confirmed shortly. Thank you for taking the time to listen today, and hopefully that gives you a little bit more clarification on our quality assurance process for awarding for 2021-22. Thank you.